Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. The date is July the 15th, 2024. It's 7:01 p.m. We now call to order a meeting of the Havre de Grace Mayor and City Council. And we will call the roll. Council President Ringsacker.
Here.
Councilmember Robertson. Here. Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Schnegas.
Here.
Councilmember Booker. Okay, let the record reflect that Councilmember Booker is not in attendance this evening, so we have 5 council members. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could kindly ask everyone to kindly remain standing as I call forward Reverend Gene Proud of the Proud Evangelistic Association. Always a pleasure, sir. Good to see you.
I always enjoy it.
Thank you for being here.
It's my honor. Let's pray. Lord, protect this council, individually and corporately, and grant them wisdom and knowledge and patience, understanding of what your will is in everything that they're engaged in, so that everything that is done will be for our peace and security and for your honor. Amen.
Reverend Proud, thank you so much. Please be seated. Okay, we're going to go to item number 5, which is the approval of the minutes from the July 1st, 2024 council meeting. Council, have a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Schnegas, second by Councilmember Boyer, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Questions or comments?
I will be abstaining, Mr. Mayor, as I was not in attendance.
Okay, Council President Ringsacker will be abstaining. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council meeting minutes of July 1st, 2004 carries 4-0 in the affirmative. Item 6, comments from citizens. This is the part of tonight's meeting. If you're here this evening to speak on a matter that is on the agenda, now is the time to do so. If you're also here to speak on any other matter of city business, now's the time to do so as well. Normally what I do is if any citizen went online and pre-filled out a form, I'll call on that citizen first. If any citizen pre-filled out a paper form when he walked into the chamber, I'll call on that citizen also. And then when I'm done, I will call on anyone at large who wishes to speak to the council. All right? So what I'll do first is I will call on Mr. Alan Fair. Good evening, Mr. Fair, and welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
A little slow here.
It's all right, no worries.
Get there.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Alan Fair, 3 Concord Place. Been there for years. What else you need?
We're good.
Okay.
Go ahead and what's on your mind, sir?
Well, I want to talk about 126 Stokes, where he wants to do 3 units now, new units, where there's been 3 units there all along. The porch and steps pretty much have been on city property, and now he's going to lower the building down to where there'll be no steps. So I would like that personally. So here's a person, I don't know whether you all know, but I know he will do a good job. He's taken lots and buildings, did one recently on Congress Avenue, did one several years back on the right side of Stokes, and did a new one on the left by the alley. And I'm not good with numbers, but I'm sure the tax base is 3 to 4 or 5 times of what it was on those particular parcels. And it would be the same, I would think, on this, from what it is today. I just think it makes sense to what he wants to do. And even if he's going to do steps, I mean, all over town. I mean, half the porches and steps are on city property. So he's eliminating the steps, which I think is good for old people. So, any questions for me?
Council, have any questions for Mr. Fair? No, sir. I'm sorry. Councilmember Boyer?
Unrelated topic. Did you have a great birthday?
Say it again?
Unrelated topic. Did you have a great birthday?
Yeah, did I have a good birthday? Oh my God, 200 people there? I'm not over it yet. But my actual birthday is Friday, so just Pat and I and Clark and Denise are going to the Wellwood.
Oh, lovely.
That's enough. But it was unbelievable.
Good.
I think several of you all were there, and the greatest thing about it, people would say, hey, I've seen people that I haven't seen in 10 years. You know, friends of theirs that you just don't see often, but they saw them. And that just made me happy. And Clark's the one who did everything. It's amazing what he did. So anyway, thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Fair.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have another form that was pre-filled out, and I'd like to call for Miss Donna Mandel. Good evening. Welcome to the meeting. May we please have your name and address?
Thank you. Good evening. Donna Mandel, 1725 Tower Road, Aberdeen, Maryland.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of the Farmers Market, and before I talk about what the event application we've submitted for September 21st, I just want to thank the mayor and the city administrator for working with us on July 6th and allowing the Farmers Market to have a smaller window, but I think the citizens really appreciated it. We had a wonderful turnout, wonderful turnout. So I'm here tonight in support of our application for September 21st, the Susquehanna Running Festival, to move the Farmers Market from its original location this year to the 700 block of Pennington Avenue, right in front of City Hall and the police station. Gives us a little more room because it's actually longer than Congress with the curve in it, so we can spread out a little bit more, maybe bring all of the vendors in that day, I'm hoping, and give us a chance to try out a new location when we do these off-location requests. So, any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Mandel? Councilmember Boyer?
So I know one of the problems that you contend with is the availability of electric. Will that issue be resolved a little bit on Congress, or is that still going to be a little bit of a problem?
Right. It doesn't fully get resolved when we're over on Congress because there is limited electric at the Star Center. Mm-hmm. So not all the vendors who need electric would be able to use it anyway, so we're still using generators. All the vendors who need electric have been advised that, you need to have a generator ready, especially if there's any issues with the electric at our existing location. We never know when a problem could occur. So everybody's been advised, and a few of the vendors actually have generators that more than one vendor can plug into, and they're willing to share. So we always make sure this setup is such that vendors who need it are located together, and if they need to share, they can share.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Any other questions or comments from the council? Thank you, Ms. Mandel.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. That is those are the two forms that I had pre-filled out. So now I will open the floor up to any citizen here who wishes to address the council on a agenda item or any other matter of city business. Please raise your hand and be recognized. Sir. Good evening and welcome. May we please have your name and address for the record?
Name's Herbert Truslow. I live on Strawberry Lane. The first thing I want to say, I want to thank the DPW guys for coming out and doing a little bit of putting the asphalt down where, because I want to say, I hope one of these days you guys will come out there and, because it seems like when you guys put the asphalt down, maybe about 2 months later, it's coming up. And one thing I want to thank Councilman Boyer for giving me and my girlfriend over there thanks, but that day has been postponed until a later, because something came up that was unexpected. But on August 17th, I'm having a little get-together. Chris already attended my dad's memorial service. This is for all the council members who could not attend on August 17th at Strawberry Lane, where I live at. You guys are more than welcome to show up, and we'll have not much food, but if you guys want to bring something, you guys are more than welcome to bring. My landlord said there's no alcohol and no booze or no drugs on there, but I don't blame because nobody in my buddy drinks everything. So I just want to appreciate it. And I also want to give my condolences to the guy who lost his life at the Trump rally on Saturday. It was what they were saying. It shouldn't have even happened, but I want to give my condolences to his the guy's family, and I'm not going to give my condolences to the guy who tried to assassinate our next president of the United States. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Sir? Good evening. Welcome to the meeting. May you please have your name and address for the record?
Paul Lauder, 512 Green Street.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I'm here tonight just to ask for your favorable vote for the porch on 126 South Stoke Street. I'm tasked with trying to clean up a lot of stuff, and I'm getting it done very slowly, but it's happening. And I have put I think, a pleasantly pleasing, aesthetically pleasing building in for permit, and I just need a favorable vote tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sorry. Did you have a question, Councilmember Boyer?
Yeah, the packet, since he's here, do you want to wait till we talk about it to ask him
If you
questions?
have a question,
or-
go ahead now. It's fine if you want to ask.
So the packet that we have just has a picture of I'm trying to find the thing real quick, just has a picture of what it currently looks like. So just as a description, how would you, we already heard that you're going to lower the front step.
Actually, I'm going to raise the elevation of the building so that it's flush, so it's a little bit above grade. So that way it slopes to the sidewalk and it'll be roll in, roll out.
And will it look like two different units, or will it look like one cohesive
It's going to look
unit?
like one unit. One unit. It's going to, right now I have 3 apartments in there and I have a store. So I've given up the store and to be able to just do 3 units, hoping that it will keep everybody happy. But I'm building it in such a way that when you look at it, it's going to look like a single family dwelling is what it's
Okay,
gonna
so
look like.
currently there's a porch only on one side. You're going to make it so it's cohesive, so it looks like the whole structure is all one
All one structure.
unit. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to look like an apartment building. It's not going to look like, it's not going to have any offsets in it. It's going to look like I'm building a nice 2,500 square foot, 2-story house.
So it's going to improve the streetscape for that area.
Absolutely, 100%.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Lauder? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we're still under public comment on agenda items or any other matter of city business. Please raise your hand, be recognized if you need to address the council. Yes, ma'am. Welcome, and may we have your name and address for the
It's
record?
Kathleen Lee, 314 Bourbon Street. In respect to what Alan Fair had just said and Mr. Lauder, the Havre de Grace Historic Preservation Commission did review the plans. It's very pleasing. We always are sorry to see an old building go, but that building was in sad shape. And the new building is actually going to be an improvement, I think, on our streetscape. So I do want to give our support to the front porch. It will look like a single-family home from the outside, and it's not outrageously designed or anything. It's rather conservatively designed to fit in with our older homes around it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to address the council this evening for public comment? Okay, are there any further comments from the council? Okay, without any further comments from public or the council, we will move on from item 6 and move on to item number 7, which is appointments. And we have a few appointments this evening. We have Board of Appeals, Historic Preservation, Independent State Commission, Marina Commission, and Tourism Advisory Board. So we'll do this by each department and by each council liaison. So we'll start with the Board of Appeals and Councilmember Schnagus.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I move to reappoint Candace Bosley to the Board of Appeals Commission.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Schnagus. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Boyer. Questions or comments? Councilmember Schnagus?
Yes, Candace Bosley has been a valuable member of the Board of Appeals for many years, and I recommend that she continue to work with the Board of Appeals, and her reappointment is favorable.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Schnagus, seconded by Councilmember Boyer. This is for the reappointment of Ms. Candace Bosley to the Board of Appeals. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Reappointment carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Item B, Historic Preservation Commission reappointment. Councilmember Jones.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I would like to reappoint Kathy Lee to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Jones. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by the Council President. This is the reappointment of Ms. Kathy Lee, Historic Preservation Commission. Questions or comments? Councilmember Jones?
Yes, I have had the pleasure for the last year since I've been on to work very closely with Kathy Lee, and I think that she is just phenomenal. Her knowledge of Havre de Grace, the history, the work, and the sweat that she puts into everything that she does related to our history is greatly appreciated, and I know that some new members are learning from her as well.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Jones. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Schnagus?
Kathy Lee, your passion for Havre de Grace and its historic preservation is invaluable. Thank you so much, and I absolutely support your reappointment.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Schnagus. Any other questions or comments? Council, this is for the reappointment of Ms. Kathleen Lee to the Historic Preservation Commission. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Reappointment carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Thank you, Council. We'll move to item C, Independence Day Commission. Actually, I had Councilmember Boker down for the introduction, but he's not able to attend this evening. Council President, would you mind making the introduction for these members for the Independence Day Commission?
Sure. Do them all in one batch.
Sure. Yep.
I apologize for having a third thing. Mr. Mayor, Council, I move to reappoint Mike Bracknell, Nikki Fournier, Steve Gamatoria, Taryn Martin, and Chrissy Silverstein to the Independence Day Commission.
Thank you, CP. I got a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilman Robertson. This is for the reappointment of Mr. Michael Bracknell, Nikki Fournier, Steve Gamatoria Jr., Taryn Martin, and Chrissy Silverstein to the Independence Day Commission. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion approves 5-0 in the affirmative. Item D, Marina Commission reappointment. Councilmember Schnagus.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I move to reappoint Rocco Di Giovanni to the Marina Commission.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Schnagus, seconded by Council President. This is for the reappointment of Mr. Rocco Di Giovanni Jr. to the Marina Commission. All questions or comments? Councilmember Schnagus.
Rocco has been a very valuable member of our commission. He has great input. He's grounded in our city. He's a part of the Marina as a slip holder and a citizen of Havre de Grace, and I highly recommend him for reappointment to the commission.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Schnagus. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Thank you very much, council. And finally, we have item E, which is Tourism Advisory Board reappointments. We have 2 members for reappointment. Councilmember Jones.
Yes, Mayor, I would like to reappoint Susan Deeney and William Watson to the Tourism Advisory Board.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Jones. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Councilmember Schnagus. This is for the reappointment of Ms. Susan Deeney and Mr. William Watson to the Tourism Advisory Board. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion approves 5-0 in the affirmative. Thank you very much, council. And we will now move on to item 8, which is recognitions. This evening we have no recognitions. Item 9, proclamations. We have no proclamations this evening. Item 10, presentations, and we have a few. And so we're going to start with the biggest thing that just happened in the city recently, the Independence Day Commission post-event report presented by Taryn Martin. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Oh, okay. So I am happy to be here tonight to present our after report from this past weekend's amazing Independence Day celebration. So it is our team, our small but mighty team of commission members that I'm representing tonight, and thank you for the reappointments to most of our team. We were all up this year, so we're ready to keep working for another celebration. But first, let's talk about what we just experienced on July the 6th. So our celebration this year was Saturday, July the 6th, which included a parade, a concert at Hutchins Park, a concert at Concord Point Park, and the fireworks. So it is my joy to be the parade chair for the Havre de Grace Independence Day Commission. And it takes a lot of work all year long, but we're very pleased with our end result. This year we had over 125 participants, over 22 musical groups, thousands of happy spectators. We were thrilled to honor as this year's Grand Marshal, legendary band director from Havre de Grace High School, Mr. Richard Hoff. And the biggest thing was that we and all of our participants survived a very hot and humid day. This year's parade, at one point we were getting pretty nervous because we had about 10 to 15 cancellations the week of. So the morning of, I was really worried we were going to even have enough people to participate. But the people who did came and put on a great show for us. Of course, we are led off by Chief Walter for her very last parade, and you see some pictures there of our parade. You can also see all of the photos from Pat Venturino, who is a wonderful volunteer who donates her services. Those are available all year long on our website that you can see. So the parade was wonderful. We had a great time. We had lots of active and enthusiastic participants who all want to come back next year. So we hope for even better things next year for you. After the parade, there was a concert at Hutchins Park that is led by our teammate Nikki Fournier. They had 2 bands, Doc Martin and the Flannels and Milk Mountain. It is a fundraising event for us, and so that was a very valuable fundraiser for the Independence Day Commission. Approximately 400 tickets were sold. People had a great time. It's also a great place to watch the fireworks once you're there. You may have noticed along the parade route, and this portion of our commission is handled by Mike Bracknell. Along the parade route and in both of the concert parks, we have plenty of vendors. This year we had more vendors than ever before, people selling all kinds of food and drinks and treats to help our visitors enjoy the celebration. And then we had one of my favorite events, the concert at Concord Point Park, which features the Maryland Military Band. This is a free concert. Lots and lots of visitors come. They bring their chairs and their blankets. Wonderful patriotic music. There are 12 food trucks there for all the hungry people. And of course, it is the best seat to watch the fireworks from because you're right there. Speaking of this year's fireworks, if you're around to see them, they were amazing. And that is headed by Bob Denton with the City of Havre de Grace, who coordinates with the City of Havre de Grace Administration and Vulcan Materials Company to create and produce an amazing fireworks show that we are super, super proud of. Now, I'm the only one here to speak tonight, but obviously an event of this magnitude does not happen just by me. So besides our commission members and the amazing members of the city staff, city DPW, every police officer in the surrounding area who's available, we also have an amazing core of volunteers. And you'll see them listed here, as well as a few pictures from some of our areas. We had over 70 volunteers this year, starting with the 6 a.m. early morning crew, to the before the parade crew, to the during the parade crew. We've got cleanup guys and people at the concerts, and we really, truly couldn't do it without you. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner there, one of our first-year volunteers, Kate Darwin, is there with her daughter Gwendolyn, this was Gwendolyn's second year volunteering with us. She is now 4 years old. And so Kate wanted me to remind everyone that we do have a youth internship program with the Independence Day Commission. We take youth, and Gwendolyn thinks in just a few years she'll be able to be a full-fledged volunteer on her own. You'll also see the Martin children have been the proponents of that internship program from long ago. So if you're sitting back and you're thinking, well, that looks like fun, it is fun, and we will welcome any and all of you to volunteer with us next year. Besides manpower, we also need money power to make this all happen. A parade is a very expensive venture to partake, so we are very fortunate to have so many amazing local business partners. All of the logos you see here have donated to our commission, both monetarily and in services, and we are very proud of the partnership we have with our local businesses. So knowing that every year we need money to pull this off. We've just finished this year's celebration. We're excited, we're enjoying it, but we're already thinking ahead to next year. And the number one thing we have to do is think about how we raise all the money to make that happen. So you will see on this slide some of our last year's fundraising events, as well as what we have planned for this year. So we'll start up right away in November with the Oyster Feast ticket sales. And then I know you're all looking forward to this year's Holiday Tree Jubilee, which will be in December, which is an awesome way to celebrate. You know, some people celebrate Christmas in July. We like to say we're celebrating July at Christmas. So it's kind of a little change on that. All right, so next year, mark your calendars. It's going to be Saturday, July the 5th, which is a great time to celebrate. For those of you wondering why we never seem to celebrate July 4th on July 4th and Havre Race, that's because it gives us a better opportunity to attract bands and community groups to our parade. I meet regularly with the Baltimore area parade chairs, and they all have their parades on July 4th. So if we did it the same day as them, all those wonderful bands and community groups that you see would not be able to participate with us. So doing it on an off day actually gives us the opportunity for more entries. So Saturday, July 5th, we'll be back in January, Council, for your approval for the events for that year. And as I said, we're always looking for new volunteers, new sponsors, new acts, new everything. So you can always reach out to us through our website or our Facebook page. The end.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Martin. I just want to reiterate to any members of the audience, especially those who may be watching at home, that the parade itself is paid for by the Independence Day Commission strictly through fundraising. And the fireworks are paid for by the city. The support staff of DPW and the police paid for by the city. But the parade itself generally runs how much a year in general?
It's about $50,000 to
Thank you.
produce
So
that
the
parade.
parade's about $50,000 a year. And a lot of people think that everyone just does it for free, but now there are some people that do it for free. But if you want to get the good bands and things like that, you got to entice them to come to the parade because there's multiple parades going on. And so it's a tremendous task that the few members that are on the Independence Day Commission have every year to raise $50,000 to pay for a parade. Now, as Mrs. Martin just showed everybody, straight up sponsorship, straight up donations, the Christmas Tree Jubilee. We have an Oyster Feast in November. If you sell tickets, proceeds go to nonprofits. You have access to selling beer and wine at the Defenders Day. However, Defenders Day was canceled this year. Hopefully next year it won't. The reason I bring this up is let anybody know who's watching. You'll probably get a 21078 mailer soon that says, hey, do you want to donate $5 or $10 to the parade? That all goes really right to the parade. If you get that in the mail, whatever money you're able to afford to bring in. If you have a good time with your family and it's worth $10 to you, $20 to you, $100 to you, whatever it is, that pays for the parade. There's a long story that goes behind it why we shouldn't use tax dollars on the parade, because it's a very arbitrary thing with what different groups make. But it is a monumental task that this handful of people have to raise that much money every year. And so I bring that up just so people are aware of what every 364 days they have to accomplish. And they do it. And we highly commend the members of the commission. Now, there are a lot of members who volunteer on parade day. They wear yellow shirts, and that's their day. They love volunteering, and God bless them. They come back every year for the pain and the heat, and they're awesome. They're on bicycles, they run around, they're in golf carts, but there's only a handful of people, and we repointed them tonight. There's only a handful of people actually on the commission. The commission works all year long. They meet once a month, and they meet and they talk about the parade and the event. And if anybody at home thinks, hey, look, I would really like to roll my sleeves up and I feel like I can really get involved during the whole year to make this happen, please reach out to City Hall, 939-1800, and just ask for the Director of Administration. We'll give you information on how to get in touch with us. So it's a monumental task. It's the biggest thing that goes on in the city all year by far. And we have evidence that the parade has gone on since the late 1800s in the city. And generations of citizens have refused to let this event die. And I know it'll go on decades beyond the people sitting in this room today. So again, Mrs. Martin, thank you very much for your presentation. I'll now leave the floor open. Any council members have any questions? Councilmember Shanegas?
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the city. We would not have such a wonderful parade if it was not for your commission. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Boyer?
I just can't begin to say how much I appreciate you and the passion that you put into this, and the passion that everybody on that the committee. It was so amazing this year to see so many new faces coming out to volunteer. And I agree, Mayor. You don't even have to live in Havre de Grace. If you love the Havre de Grace parade, if you want it to continue, we need people to step up and volunteer. And the way you can serve could be just a little bit or a lot.
Absolutely.
But together we make just an amazing, and it's an amazing experience that is the true definition of what community is and what our nation is and what we stand for. So amazing, and your kids are awesome. Especially love Molly.
Of course.
But thank you for the opportunity to volunteer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate Councilmember Boyer, who volunteers every year with her husband. They're some of our best volunteers, so thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Again, thank you very much for presenting the council with the after action report. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to item B, Historic Preservation Commission 2024 Beautification Awards. And I guess representing the commission is Ms. Lee, right? I'm here too. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Montgomery, I didn't see, I'm sorry, I apologize. The chair of the commission, go ahead. Welcome, welcome.
Kathy does all the work, so let her have the spotlight.
She's the chairperson. Okay, well, this is our annual beautification awards. We have our annual Historic Preservation Awards, and then we have our Beautification Awards. These are people who have made Havre de Grace beautiful. And I want to honor them, and our commission wants to honor them too. First up, we have 414 Alliance Street, and that's Roland and Dorothy Shower. Are they here? Well, come on up. And we have a picture. There they are. Yes. They have maintained their home for many, many years. I have driven by and said, boy, that's a nice looking house. And they keep on maintaining it. And it just it gets better every year. Now, they did have a big loss. They lost a giant old tree. How old was the tree?
197 years old. It was a American holly, a female. It was 8 feet in circumference. It had a English ivy growing with it. Oh, gosh. Because they're symbiotic. And the English ivy had to be at least 70 years old because it was 12 inches in diameter. Wind took a large branch out. We had 5 arborists out there. They all told us it couldn't be saved. They took it down. Most of the, when they cut it down to the ground, most of the lumber had white rot. So there was only maybe 1/8 of the tree that was actually still alive.
Wow.
But that's how old it was. They dated it that old.
Wow, that's a,
Yeah, I mean, it survived in that place all those years, all that goes on in this town.
8 feet in circumference. That's quite an ivy or a holly tree.
And all the people that have lived there, the house is 99 years old this year. And all the people that have lived there since left it alone.
Wow. It's a shame.
It is.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
I can imagine.
There's a lot of activity under that tree in the way of wildlife.
Yeah,
All kinds of wildlife went under there. I always kept water under there for everything.
Wow.
So there are our first beautification awards for this year. Our second ones are 350 Bourbon Street. And we have, okay, we have a before and after. Nick, Liz? All right. Okay, Nick and Lynn bought this house at 350 Bourbon Street, and you can see the before picture. And it was okay, you know, it's an old house. Yeah, it was. I was trying to be kind. It was a shack. Okay, they turned it into this absolutely gorgeous house on the right picture with this second floor porch, and they just totally redid the house, and it just makes the whole neighborhood look so much nicer now. So they are our second beautification awards for this year, and our last beautification award is 731 North Stokes, and that would be Mr. William Arnold. That looked pretty awful, didn't it? Yeah, it looked pretty awful before, and it looked pretty awful for a number of years. The trees that are in the pots had shriveled up and finally died, and it looked even worse. Then he got a hold of it, and voila, we have a beautiful, beautiful building now. So they are our third winners of our annual beautification award. We have signs.
Recognition.
Now you get to keep this sign for the rest of the summer and most of the fall until around Halloween, and then I magically appear again and make it disappear.
See Kathy rooting around your yard.
No panic.
She goes.
Last but not least. So thank you very much for keeping our city beautiful.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
Yes.
If everybody could join me up here real quick. Do one line just for a photo. Thank you. Anywhere you want, just come on up real quick. Also, the audience and the camera can catch us. So,
The mayor. Well, that's all right, that's my name. That's what I was born with.
well, I want to thank everybody real quick for being here this evening, taking the Historic Preservation Commission up on their offer for this award. And there are so many homes in our city that are worthy of this award, and we can't get around to them all the time. But I know that the commission is very appreciative that we got around to some that are well overdue. And it's the spirit and pride that the owners and the citizens have in their homes in the city that makes the charm and the heritage and character that we have today. We have no laws, to the chagrin of the commission, but we have no laws that prevent someone from coming in and tearing down a home and building a brand new home if they wanted to. But it definitely takes a person that can see and identify a soul and a character and a spirit in a home to say, you know what, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I can make this house something that is going to last and really represent what it means to live in Havre de Grace. And y'all did that, and it means a lot. And we know that it's not easy, it's not cheap, and it's a lot of work. But the whole reason Historic Preservation Commission exists, by order of the council, you know, it's in the charter, is to promote people who want and recognize people who want to keep that history of Havre de Grace alive. So I thank you on behalf of myself and the city council and the citizens of our city for just keeping our streetscape beautiful, historic, you know, in character of what it once was. And I know not everybody buys a house and can save it, but those who can, we appreciate it. And I would like to present a recognition to each and every one of you this evening for that. And so basically, it just recognizes each name. So 414 Alliance Street, Roland and Dorothy. I'd like to present that to you here. This is yours. Thank you. It's my pleasure. And Dominic and Lynn. Nick, I know. I saw Dominic. Hey, it's him. We go by the tax rules. Anyway, I'm joking with you. Nick. I'm like, Dominic. Got a brother here, Dominic? Anyway, no, I knew it. And Mr. Arnold. Thank you very much. So, again, we thank you for everything. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Ben, Nick, thank you very much. And I invited Councilmember Jones up. Councilmember Jones, you have anything you want to say?
Yes, absolutely. I want to thank you all. This is so exciting to see every year, and the homes look wonderful. You make the streets on Havre de Grace even more beautiful, and I just want to thank you so much for all the work that you've put into it.
The last request I have, I was wondering if we could just kind of all stand together, but if you, like, three with the signs could just hold the signs up in the picture, so this picture, like, documents what awards were given and what address. So, ready? Okay. High-tech camera here. I'll say smile. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Nick and Lynn. I'll wait for a rainy day. Oh, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. All right, next on the agenda, we have under presentations, letter C, Harford County Annual Growth Report with Mr. Tim Bercier from the Director of Planning.
Good evening, everyone. According to our adequate public facilities ordinance, I'm supposed to report twice a year on school enrollment numbers. Generally, the new school year enrollment projections come out in December from the county, and I report to all of you in January. And then they revise those numbers at the end of the school year, and I report those sometime during July. I spoke to former planning director here and current Harford County Planning Director Shane Grimm, and he said those numbers have not changed since January. So I have nothing to report, but I'll take any questions you may have. I'll try to do my best to answer them.
So what were the numbers from January, just so that people who are listening can also hear?
Sure. I don't have them exactly, but basically we have Havre de Grace Elementary is at or near capacity within the 3-year projection time. According to our ordinance, however, if there's any school districts that have capacity that are adjacent, then we don't prevent any future residential subdivisions. However, on one of the residential subdivisions that that had applied to the city for approval, we send those to the county school board and other agencies for review. The school board said, you know, the way that they calculate the projections are the way the state requires them, but there are more needs than what you see in just those numbers. I'd spoken to them about potentially doing a presentation here to say what the real numbers are, the real attendance numbers are. And that hasn't happened yet, but if anyone here is interested in making that happen, I can continue to work with the school board. There was some alarm that just because of how long it takes for the state to get property and the state to approve of schools everywhere across Maryland, that the 3-year projection maybe isn't a long enough projection, and that some of the attendance numbers are higher than what we think. So there is a plan for in 2025 to do some, I think 2025-26 school year, they're supposed to build a school for special needs kids that will take away some attendance from areas throughout the county. And then they're also going to do some redistricting at that time. So as far as I know, they're still on track from what they have in that last growth plan.
Anybody else have any other questions for Mr. Bercier? Great, thank you so much, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
The projection of time for the completion of the special needs school?
It's supposed to be ready for the 25-26 school year.
Thank you.
That was last I heard, but I can check into that just to see where they are.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yep. We're good. Any other questions? Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Council President.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 11, which is resolutions. This evening, we have two resolutions. The first one's going to be proposed by the Council President.
All right, Mr. Mayor, Council, citizens, I move to introduce Charter Resolution Number 302 concerning amending Section 75, City Property Sale, Transfer, or Conveyance for second reading and adoption.
Council, I have a motion by the Council President to introduce a resolution. Do I have a second on his introduction?
Second.
I have a second by Councilmember Schneges. Questions or comments on the introduction only? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce a resolution carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Council, this is going to be Charter Resolution Number 302, a resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, pursuant to the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, Sections 33 and 34 of the City Charter, to amend Section 75, City Property Sale, Transfer, or Conveyance. Council, to have a motion to adopt Charter Resolution 302.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by the Council President. Questions or comments before the roll call vote? Council President?
The purpose of this resolution is so we can change the current wording in our statutes. So right now, with the sale of excess city property, that money has to go to condemning houses and tearing them down. We just wanted more discretion on where we could use our funds.
Thank you very much, Council President. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Without any further questions or comments on Resolution 302, we will do a roll call vote. Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Schneges?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 5-0 in the affirmative, City Council Charter Resolution 302 is approved by Council and adopted, 5-0 in the affirmative. Item B, Calendar Resolution. Councilmember Schneges.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I move to introduce the calendar resolution concerning approving a license agreement at 126 South Stokes Street.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Schneges and a seconded by the Council President. This is a motion to introduce a calendar resolution. Questions or comments on the introduction of this resolution? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce calendar resolution carries 5-0 in the affirmative. This is a resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, pursuant to Sections 33 and 34 of the City Charter, the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, for approval of a license agreement to replace a front porch and steps at 126 South Stokes Street right-of-way. This will also be known as Charter or Calendar Resolution 2024-14. 2024-14. Council, do I have a motion to adopt
So moved.
Second.
Calendar Resolution 2024-14? I'm sorry, it was the first motion. Okay, came from Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Schneges. Questions or comments? Councilmember Shenanigans?
As we heard Mr. Fair speak earlier and Mr. Lauder, this resolution is designed to allow for a 40-foot front porch and/or steps or the slope with a width of 4.2 feet. So it will be in use of the city right away, but it will also help with beautification of the new designed home that they plan to build. Not a single family, but multi-family home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Shenanigans. Any other questions or comments? Without any further questions or comments, we'll do a roll call vote on calendar resolution 2024-14. Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes.
Council President.
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 5-0 in the affirmative, calendar resolution 2024-14 is approved by council. Thank you very much, council. We're going to go to item 12, ordinances. This evening we have a couple ordinances. And the first one is going to be ordinance 1158 on second reading. Councilmember Shenanigans.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I move to introduce ordinance number 1158 concerning amending Chapter 25 of the Marina Commission in the second reading.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Shenanigans. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by the Council President. This is a motion to introduce ordinance 1158 on second reading. Is there any questions or comments on the introduction of 1158 on second reading? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce ordinance 1158 on second reading carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Ordinance 1158, an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, sections 33, 34, and 71 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to amend sections of the City Code, Chapter 25, Marina Commission. Council, to have a motion to adopt 1158 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Shenanigans. Questions or comments on this ordinance? Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes, this ordinance will allow for us to add new members, additional members to our commission, as well as to allow for the chair, not the chair, but for the council liaison to serve as a member, a non-chair member, and to allow for there to just be one council person representing the commission. And that council member also will serve on the Park and Rec Committee.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Shenanigans. Is there any other further questions or comments? Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on ordinance 1158, and this is a second reader on it. Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenanigans?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 5-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1158 concerning amending Chapter 25 Marina Commissions is approved and adopted on second reading. We're going to go to item B under ordinances. And it's going to be an ordinance concerning improvement of tax credit. And this is going to be a first reader, and we're going to hand this off to the chair of the Finance Committee, Councilmember Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I move to introduce an ordinance concerning approving tax credit for Old Bay Industrial LLC in the enterprise zone.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Robertson. It's seconded by Councilmember Jones. This is a motion to introduce an ordinance concerning improvement of tax credit for Old Bay Industrial LLC in the enterprise zone at 350 Old Bay Lane. Is there any questions or comments on the introduction of this ordinance on first reading? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce the ordinance carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Council, this will be known as Ordinance 1159. An ordinance by the Mayor City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of the Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, and Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to approve real property tax credits against the city real property tax imposed on the eligible assessment for real property in the enterprise zone known as Old Bay Industrial LLC, located at 350 Old Bay Lane, Havre de Grace, Maryland 21078, owned by Old Bay Industrial LLC. Council, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1159 on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Snagis and seconded by the Council President. Questions or comments? Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just for the edification of the folks at home and I guess our actual audience tonight, welcome, folks. It's good to have people here. This is extending the tax credit that was established, well, under the enterprise zone, which was established by the county and by the state, mostly in our industrial area in the borders of downtown Havre de Grace, but extending the tax credit that exists to the property that you see before you, which has some vast improvements. So we're rewarding good behavior here at the City of Havre de Grace. It's a 10-year scheduled tax plan, and I have to commend Bridget Johnson and her team for getting that done, and I assume Finance had a bit of a hand in that too. So way to go, guys. I think it's the perfect example of how government can work with private industry to get things done and make our city better.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on ordinance 1159 on first reading. Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Snagis.
Yes.
Council President.
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 5-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1159 is adopted on first reading. Council President, when would you like to have the public hearing?
The first meeting in August?
And that's August 5th, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll have a public hearing at the next City Council meeting on August 5th, 2024, 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to old business. We have a couple things on the old business. First one's going to be a special event. Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, for your consideration is the change of location for the farmers market on September 21st. They request to move the farmers market up here to Pennington, as you heard in the comments earlier.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. I have a motion to approve the special event for the farmers market change of location for September 21st.
So moved.
Motion by the Council President, second by Councilmember Snagis. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Special event application for the farmers market move, change of location on September 21st, 2024 is approved 5-0 in the affirmative. Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. Item B, there's an old resolution that was brought up at the last council meeting that was given a number but was not given a second for a vote. That's under Councilmember Snagis' name. Councilmember Snagis, did you want to bring that up?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Council, I move to put to vote Resolution 2024-13, a license agreement for the use of right-of-way at 654 Water Street.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Snagis. Is there a second for this? Second. Seconded by Councilmember Robertson. This is Resolution 2024-13. This is an introduction of this. Is there any questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The introduction of 2024-13 resolution carries 5-0 in the affirmative. This was a license agreement for use of right-of-way at 654 Water Street, a resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, Pursuant to Sections 33 and 34 of the City Charter and the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, for approval of a license agreement to construct a waiting area for patrons at 654 Water Street right-of-way. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Robertson,
Second?
second by Councilmember Shenanigans.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Questions or comments? Councilmember Shenanigans.
After the Planning Committee met to review the resolution, we found it to be unfavorable due to the safety concerns.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Shenanigans. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Robertson?
Just to elaborate on what Councilmember Shenanigans said. So in the planning committee, we were reviewing the situation entirely down at Water Street. It seems like there's not a good pedestrian pathway. So we were planning to, well, we recommended that council, not Congress, geez, I'm sorry, guys, that council tonight take an unfavorable action on this license agreement, kick it over to Street and Traffic Safety for Street and Traffic Safety to review what we think would probably be a low-cost, low-effort plan to get a citizen pathway, a pedestrian pathway there, and then perhaps revisit a waiting area at that time.
Thank you, Councilmember Robertson. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Boyer.
So, Street and Traffic has included Water Street on their list in previous years for a need for a pedestrian solution on both sides of the street, especially since the increase of traffic during public events. It did not make the top list for this year, but when we reevaluate it again for next year, I'll make sure that I highlight that. I did bring with me the locations where the Street and Traffic Safety, their priority locations for this year, which was reported to the mayor on the 22nd of January, 2024, were first, Market Street by the firehouse, where Market Street and Fountain Street hit. There's no sidewalk there. There's sidewalk, and then it ends right in front of the firehouse, and then it continues again on the other side of Fountain Street. Juniata from Erie to Otsego. And third is Commerce Street. That'll take it basically from where the playground is to the pickleball courts. There's the sidewalk kind of ends, there isn't a connection there. And fourth, the committee suggested studying to determine where sidewalks could be built along Chapel Road, or to finance a study to determine how that could go. But moving forward, as I said, I'll bring this up as an issue to Street and Traffic Safety, and hopefully get it on the list as a priority location for next year. Or better than that, one of these things will come off the list so that we can have room for new things going on. But there definitely is a lot of need throughout the city to continue our sidewalks where the sidewalk ends. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Robertson and a second by Councilmember Shenanigans on Resolution 2024-13. A yes vote approves the resolution, a no vote turns it down. I'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Robertson.
No.
Councilmember Jones.
No.
Councilmember Boyer.
No.
Councilmember Shenanigans.
No.
Council President.
No.
By roll call vote of 0 votes in favor and 5 votes against, Resolution 2024-13 is not adopted by council. We're going to go to item 14, which is new business. Special events, Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, for your consideration this evening, there are 2 events. The first one is National Neighbors Night Out, August 6th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Ontario Street between Adams and Stokes. And the second one is Garden Mart and Eco-Tourism event. That name may change. May 17th and May 18th of 2025. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Havre de Grace Maritime Museum and Lighthouse Keepers Lawn.
Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. Council, I have a motion to approve National Neighbors Night Out.
So moved?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Snagis, second by Council President. Questions or comments? Councilmember Snagis?
I am highly in favor of this evening. It's been a great community event since I've lived in the area, well attended by neighbors, new neighbors, and the law enforcement, and as well as our council. It's a great opportunity to connect with the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Snagis. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. National Neighbors Night Out, August 6, 2024, carries to 5-0 in the affirmative. Dr. Ritchie?
So this is for the Garden Mart and Ecotourism event that I mentioned previously, but May 17th and 18th, 2025, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Maritime Museum and the Lighthouse Keepers Lawn.
Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones. Do I have a
Second.
Second by Councilmember Snagis. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion to approve, Garden Mart carries 5-0 in the affirmative. Thank you very much, Dr. Ritchie. And we're going to go to item 15 with the director's report, and we're going to go right back to you, Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, colleagues, citizens. So I would like to offer congratulations to the Havre de Grace Independence Day Commission for the fantastic celebration on the 6th. Thank you to the volunteers that helped make that event successful. Thank you to the city employees. Just about every city employee had a part in that. And then also thank you to all the participants in the Independence Day celebration. It was fantastic. And since I've been here, it felt like the smoothest running Independence Day that we've had in the city. It was awesome. There are several events at the Star Center before our next council meeting, so I would just like to mention those. Studio 2, the Early Beatles Tribute, is coming July 20th. Apparently they were voted Best Beatles Tribute Band in New England and New Hampshire, and now they're in Havre de Grace. Kanan Wren's Taylor Swift Experience is returning to the Star Center on July 27th. This will be her second time here. I heard the first time was fantastic. And then the Sicilian Tenors are performing on August 3rd. And you can buy tickets to these and any other shows at starcentermd.com. And then lastly, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Chief Crass, Major Alton, and Captain Terry on their promotions. I've worked with these gentlemen for at least the past 6 years, and they're all fine choices for these roles, and I look forward to continuing to work with them. So congratulations. And that concludes my comments for this evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritchie. Appreciate your update. We're going to go to Mr. Borsier, the Director of Planning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody. We're a little slow on some of our commissions during the summer, so we've canceled some regularly scheduled meetings. Our regularly scheduled Planning Commission for July 18th is canceled, and our Board of Appeals hearing for August 1st is canceled. Planning Commission will meet on August 15th. We received our comments back from the state and other agencies on our comprehensive plan. There was nothing that was insurmountable or a red flag that we needed to worry about. We're working hard to get those revisions placed in there, and that document should be in front of all of you soon. So if you haven't been to the Envision Havre de Grace website, please go and check out the comprehensive plan, at least the chapters that relate to any of the work or committees that you guys are on. And if there's any issues or feedback, please let us know as we're working through those revisions. And the last item, I'm happy to announce I was accepted on the Maryland Municipal League Legislative Affairs Committee. I'm excited to be able to review legislation that's coming in. We get kind of caught sometimes with things like the housing bill and some stuff that we're not really aware of. So I think it'll make us a little bit more aware of things that are coming up, but also allow me to give feedback, hopefully from jurisdictions like Havre de Grace, on how those things will affect small to mid-sized towns and cities throughout the state. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Borsier. Council, any questions for Tim? Okay, thank you again. Appreciate it. Good evening, Ms. Johnson, Director of Economic Development and Tourism.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and citizens at home. Thank you, Councilman Robertson, for introducing ordinance number 159 concerning approving a tax credit for Old Bay Industrial LLC. A little background information with that. Old Bay Industrial LLC is actually Plastapac, which currently exists in the industrial park. They are located on Clark Road. This is an expansion for this company. They are going to create between 15 and 20 full-time jobs, and this is exactly why the enterprise zone was created almost 30 years ago, for new buildings and also job creation. There's two parts to the enterprise zone, and this company meets both of them. So I am happy to announce it is Plastapac, and I think we all are familiar with that company because they've been in Havre de Grace for a very long time. The next Economic Development Advisory Board meeting will be August 21st, 4:00 p.m. here in Council Chambers. I would also like to officially welcome back Susan Deeney and Bill Watson to the Tourism Advisory Board. The new public restrooms at the Visitor Center located at 450 Pennington Avenue are completed and will soon open to the public. We are still working on the open and closed hours. There's a couple maintenance issues. I think we're installing a rail, but the interior bathrooms are completed. That was funded through a grant from MHAA with matching funds from the city of Havre de Grace. The footbridge at Swan Harbor will begin next week and should be completed within 3 weeks. We already installed the pilings about 2 months ago, so now we are building the bridge. This is an exciting project. We will have volunteer opportunities for this project. I need to talk to Patrick. We need to get the bridge in place, and we'll probably do the last portion with some volunteers. This bridge was grant funded through EDA. Last week on July 10th, Secretary Day of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development visited the downtown business district. We currently have 3 grants under review at DHCD. We have a grant in the amount of $92,000. It is for a security system at the Star Center. We have a grant in the amount of $207,000. This is Community Legacy. This is for 18 new streetlights along Pennington and St. John Street. This is to complement the downtown restoration project. And we also have a strategic demolition grant in, and this is for the signature sidewalks in front of Harmerstown in the amount of $174,000. We should hear back on these grants in the August-September timeframe in regards to if we are awarded these funds. So I will be tracking that very closely. Last but not least, the pickleball courts at the community center. The blacktop is down and the fence installation begins tomorrow. That project is projected to last about 3 to 4 weeks. So that concludes my report for this evening. If there are any questions.
Thank you very much, Ms. Johnson. Any questions?
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for the report. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And we're going to go to our Deputy Director of Finance, Mr. Abdi. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members, citizens, before I get started on FY24, just to let you know the fiscal 25 bills for property taxes have been sent out last week, so look out for that. There are some that have come already, so look for that in the mail the next couple of weeks. In the matter in terms of just fiscal 24, this is in terms of what the up-to-date numbers are. For the general fund, in terms of the revenues, it stands at $20,543,000, which is up $452,000 compared to last reporting. Expenditures are up $106,000 to $21,485,000, leaving the fund balance at $2,569,500, which is up $346,000 for the year as of June 30th, 24. In terms of the water and sewer fund, expenditures were up $1,200 since the last reporting. Revenues are up stands as $17,015,000. Expenditures are up $870,600. It stands currently at $15,890,000, leaving the fund balance currently at $2,342,000, which is down $869,400. Lastly, the Marina Fund. The expenditures currently stand at $892,500, which is up $52,500 since the last reporting. In terms of expenditures, they're up $37,300, currently standing at $665,500, leaving the current ending balance as of $814,100. So that's in terms of the financials for this FY24.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any questions for Abdul? Thank you very much for the update, sir. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Before I,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'd like to, in terms of property tax for 25, we had some little bit issues in terms of getting it out. So our property tax accountant did a great job in getting those billings submitted. So Stephanie Miller is our property tax accountant, and so I'd like to congratulate her in terms of sending those bills out. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Councilmember Shenigans.
I would just like to say that citizens are actually excited to get their tax bill. I was on Alliance Street and I saw two neighbors. They were talking to each other. Have you received your tax bill? Not yet, but it's due to come. It's July. So I just want you to know that people are actually, anticipating it, and we thank you for all your hard work. I received mine. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question in regards to the Comptroller's Office. I know that the Comptroller's Office has gone through a great deal of work to try to automate their processes better and upgrade their systems. Mm-hmm. Have you all seen an intentional flow? I don't even know what the right words to use to describe it. Have things gotten better in regards to working with the Comptroller's Office, and have you been able to receive the information at a better rate?
I think there have been some, concerns about the updates of the software that they have for the state. So there have been some delays in terms of the last few months, but they've been in terms of being transparent and letting us know in terms of what issues there are. But in terms of property taxes, there's been a slight delay in terms of getting the property tax rolls. That was received over the weekend. So obviously we had a short week in terms of the July 1st. But once we got the tax rolls in, we made sure to make it, in terms of quick turnaround. But obviously there have been some issues in terms of getting these rolls in. But it's not specific to just in general the state of Maryland. I'm sure, for example, Delaware has been having issues in terms of their stuff related to withholding tax, for example. Mm-hmm. So there's been delays in terms of trying to submit our payments for property taxes. Not property taxes, but withholding taxes for the state of Delaware. So I think it's just a national across the board in terms of, I'm not quite sure what the issues are, but they've been working with us and trying to get these things resolved, so.
Okay. And the people that do you have a good line of communication with the Comptroller's Office, or do you have any challenges there?
Well, in terms of the specific, I don't think we have too much concerns because normally our property tax account, Stephanie, has a good cooperation, not only with the state, but also with the Havre County. So if there's any delays, we have, in terms of line of communication with them. Obviously, in terms of our transition, Stephanie's been new the last couple of years. Another thing that her part is just trying to get up to speed in terms of who our connections are with the county and also the state. Again, with Tracy Miller, Tracy Conaway has been pretty instrumental in trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly in terms of our property tax, billings. Just in terms of finance department, we have a great staff in terms of trying to make sure whatever issues pop up, we're upfront in communicating with the taxpayers.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We're going to go to Department of Public Works. Director Malizer, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council President, council members, citizens. 3 quick topics: the MDE state exams, some projects, and personnel. 1, exams. Really proud of the DPW crew. 3 out of 3 that took the state exams for Maryland passed, with about a 50% normal pass-fail rate, so that is really good. Congrats, Ken DiPietro, Steve Carlton, and Trent Pyle. Some employees that we have may take up to 5 years to pass, so this was a pretty big deal on their first shot. And as we learned from working with MRWA, the average age of an operator is 47 years old. So we're at the crucial stage to where the people that are coming in are passing the test. So the short course is very good for them, and I appreciate the council supporting them to go to those courses. And I know it takes about a week off of labor present at the city, but it's very important for them to get that certification. So I appreciate the support from the council. Some project updates. The Lafayette Forest Main engineering drawings are 100% completed. They're at the bidding phase now, so I'll keep everyone posted. When the project's set to begin, that's the snow fencing down on Lafayette. If you see over there, it's been sitting there for a while, so we're looking forward to really getting that started and getting that project out of the way. That's going to include some disturbance downtown that we'll notify residents about, some air release valves that we're going to install throughout the city, all the way to the wastewater treatment plant. Grit chamber relining. We did have some concrete debris falling in and clogging the pumps down at the wastewater treatment plant. So we have contractors there relining the tank, and that's planned to be finished before August 1st. I did want to welcome aboard a few employees, and shout out to HR department getting employees on board. Amadi Allen and Sidra Co. So welcome aboard to them. And lastly, to Taryn and Christy for their Independence Day breakfast that they gave to DPW. It meant a lot to us. It was greatly appreciated. I know everyone really enjoyed it. It was unexpected for the crews, especially the new members. And I just wanted to say thank you to the commission members for doing that. It means a lot and goes a long way. So,
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Malizer? Thank you, EJ. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mayor.
Major Alton, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. My comments are going to start out somewhat redundant this evening, or I will say echoing Dr. Ritchie's comments as well, because I think you read my notes. But nonetheless, we wanted to extend our thanks and congratulations as well to everyone that made the Independence Day weekend happen, and obviously, as Dr. Ritchie said, run as smoothly as it did. Everybody from City Hall, Independence Day Commission, DPW, I heard Councilwoman Boyer mention allied personnel earlier. We bring in a lot of support. And then, of course, the citizens who attended the event, overwhelmingly, for the most part, behavior-wise, was great. We didn't have really any incidents at all to speak of. Additionally, just wanted to say thank you to everyone that was able to attend a little bit out of their time of the day to attend the retirement flag raising ceremony for Chief Walter, which conveniently was right after the Independence Day weekend. And so schedule-wise, obviously, we know that was a big deal for people to be there. And then directly following that, of course, was the swearing-in ceremony for the new command staff. So thank you again to those that were able to come out. And then I'm going to wrap with some quick staffing updates, as tonight marks 1 month to go. And we will be receiving 3 new recruits who graduate August 15th. Some of you probably saw them working this Independence Day weekend. But yes, we desperately need them, and so they're coming real soon. And that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Major. Any questions for Major Alton? Thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. We're going to move to the next item of business, which is comments from the mayor's office. Yep. Anyway, so just a reminder, as everybody was mentioning, the biggest weekend in Havre Grace took place last weekend, October. I'm just dreaming of fall, man. Dreaming of fall. Sorry. July the 6th. A big day in Havre de Grace. And earlier, Taryn Martin was here giving an update on the after action committee, or after action report on the parade. That's actually part of the city charter. So it's a commission that is created by the council. It's in our charter. And one of the things they have to do is after the event, they have a month or two to come back to the council and just brief the council on the updates on how the parade went, you know, any needs, any successes, things like that. Of course, you know, we get the action after report right away, which is good. But I just want to let everybody, thank everybody for chipping in. Well, first I want to thank the commission. They do an amazing job. A few people do an amazing job. I want to thank the close to 70 volunteers who don't really do anything during the year, but on Independence Day, they put on their yellow shirts, regular citizens, and come in and they volunteer. They're great people. We can't do without them. We cannot do it without them. That's just a fact. I want to thank all of my police department, most of my DPW, and a good number of members from the City Hall leadership staff who came in and chipped in to make that day possible. Like I said, Independence Day in Havre de Grace, or at least a parade in Havre de Grace, is an all-hands-on-deck day for everybody. Members of the city staff, members of the public. It's our day. You know, everybody has, every town in America has their big day for whatever it is. But without a doubt, Independence Day has been a long tradition for over 100 years, has spanned the last 3 centuries. And thanks to, whether sometimes it's a small group of people, sometimes it's a big group of people. But I don't think there's been any gaps in the Independence Day parade for our city. So it's a big task, and I'm very grateful that it goes on every year successfully through the help of good people. I'm also grateful that I live in a town where we continually bring in large numbers of people, not just Independence Day parade, but First Fridays and whatever event we happen to do. And, you know, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx us, but we've been very fortunate that we always bring good people to our city, whether you live here or you're just visiting. I get that compliment a lot. People compliment me on, hey, your city's well run. Your city feels safe. Your city's easy to get in and out of. You know, it's easy to park. And it's great. I'm very fortunate and grateful that we can welcome people to our city by the thousands, and that, you know, the efforts on our side are just minimal as far as public safety goes and ingress and egress. So there's a lot to be said about how we execute our big days in the city, you know, a lot of venues, not just with street closures and putting up the no parking signs, and of course public safety aspect and making sure people get in and out safely. But there's a lot to be said, and so, you know, I'm very, very thankful for that. So another 4th of July event successfully performed. And with that said, you know, we're rolling into the middle of summer now, and the heat wave's here, and it wouldn't be July in Havre de Grace without oppressive humidity and high temperatures. And apparently some people like that. But anyway, but I'm just waiting for the fall to come. But so with that said, we welcome our visitors. This is a great time of year to visit Havre de Grace. I was at the promenade, I was walking the promenade 2 nights ago, and must have heard 3 different languages. One was Spanish for sure, and the other 2 languages I didn't understand. But you know, it's just very nice to see so many people visit our city from other places. And I also want to thank Mr. Malazar. We didn't mention this, but this is something that him and I were working on. If you notice the big flag down at the Gold Star Memorial down at Concord Point Park, it's the Betsy Ross flag. It's the Revolutionary War flag with the 13 stars in a circle. So we kind of, EJ, it was hard to find that flag, wasn't it?
Custom order, Mayor. Custom order. They don't make them anymore, so.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we might have the last one made in America. but I mean, thank you. I mean, thanks for grabbing that and finding that. You know, we'll take good care of that flag. But it's little things like that you know, city really embraces our heritage to, you know, America, and we welcome people here. So, and people jump on the trolley as well. You know, and over this past weekend, the trolleys went 555 miles and transported over 800 people all around the city of Havre de Grace on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we hope the people rode the trolley enjoyed themselves. And like I said, middle of the summertime, Havre de Grace, Maryland. Everybody, please enjoy yourself. Be safe. We'll be back here on August 5th for the next council meeting, and we will talk to you soon. I'm going to hand comments off the council now. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to start with Councilmember Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. Well, I guess first off, Major, welcome. Congratulations to you and to Captain Krass for becoming chief, and to Teresa Walter for a well-deserved retirement. Congratulations. And thank you to the police and DPW for what you guys do for Independence Day celebrations here. I know it's a big lift and a big ask, but you guys always seem to pull that off seamlessly, so thank you. Just real quick, I just want to remind everybody that Refuel for School, that's the back-to-school giveaway event and festival, will be held at Concord Point Park. That's the park where the lighthouse is, on August 17th, starting at 3 p.m. Again, Concord Point Park, August 17th, 3 p.m. There will be backpacks given away full of school supplies, bouncies and food and all kinds of stuff that kids like, teenagers like, and lots of resources for you. So come on out to that, August 17th, 3 p.m., Concord Point Park. But before that, I need bodies. I need help on August 15th. That's a Thursday, right before the big event. We're going to sort the school supplies, stuff the backpacks, get them ready to go ahead of the event on the 17th. So August 15th, Thursday, August 15th, at the American Legion in the hall, 6 p.m. If you have some time, we'd really appreciate it. It's not hard work. It's kind of fun, actually. But there's just a lot. There's a lot of different school supplies to get together and get ready to go. So if I could get your help on August 15th at 6 p.m. at the American Legion, I'd really appreciate it. And if not, I'd love to see you all August 17th at 3 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember. Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Good evening, Councilmember Jones.
Good evening. I have no comments this evening.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilmember Jones. And Councilmember Boyer, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. I have already said it, but I really think that Havre de Grace is just one of those special places, and the 4th of July is a testament to it. It is just amazing to see how everybody, all aspects of our community kind of just come together, whether it be our paid staff with DPW and our police officers, the volunteers, but most importantly, just our community, our citizens who come together and want to make sure that everybody gets to celebrate what makes America wonderful together, and to do it in such on such an absolutely unbelievably hot day, sweltering, but the dedication, the people who stayed on that parade route to the very end, just to be able to cheer the people on, to say, way to go, and just to support all the parade walkers was just amazing. And the other thing is, I like going down to the promenade for the fireworks. And just as you were saying, to see the diversity of our community, there are 2 times during the year where you can see how absolutely amazingly diverse our community is, and that is Independence Day and New Year's Eve. Everybody from all walks of life, literally all walks of life, come down to the promenade, and they all just patiently wait for the fireworks, and they just sit in awe, and they become like family with each other, even though there's nothing related to each other for that period of time. Like they've met each other for the very first time, but everybody kind of joins in together to enjoy the day, and it's just so much fun to watch. And that's what I enjoy doing every year for 4th of July. I like going down to the promenade. I want to give kudos to Councilman Boker for winning the cardboard box derby. He won an extremely large trophy, and he's not here to show it for us, but he said that he would bring it. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully that's something that stays year to year as part of the celebration for the 4th of July, or for Independence Day, pardon me. And finally, I just want to welcome our new major and our new captain, and I look forward to working with you all. We are in good hands. You guys have been around for just a hot minute, and hopefully you'll stick with us for a couple more minutes after that. So thank you very much, and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Boyer. And good evening, Councilmember Schneegis.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administration, and citizens at home. Thank you for coming together once again on this fine council meeting opportunity. It's wonderful to see our administration and each department work together with everyone, and the cogs in the wheel just flow together, and everybody just does their part as they get promoted, as they step in other people's shoes, as they reach out and find ways to continue to connect all of us. So thank you, Havre de Grace. I want to make sure that everyone remembers to come out to the summer concerts in the park. The next one is July 19th, this Friday at 7:30 in Tidings Park. Please be sure to wear your boots and kick up your heels. The Uncommitted is coming out to play. They're a country music band, and they also will take requests. So be ready. And also, I'd like to invite the Marina Commission out to the next meeting, August 7th, 4:30 p.m. in the City Hall Conference Room. And of course, as always, citizens that would like to attend are welcome as well. Thank you so much, Havre de Grace, and citizens alike. Please continue to support all the wonderful things that are going on here in our community, and please remember to plan ahead with the construction and things like that. It makes time go smoothly. We know that there's direct paths to take as locals. You know, we can go down a different lane or such and such, but if you know it's in your area, plan ahead so that it alleviates any frustration and it helps everyone be safe. So thank you so very much, and have a wonderful evening. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Schneegis. Appreciate it. Finally, we're going to comments from the council president. Good evening, sir.
Mr. Mayor, council, citizens, employees, I'll be real brief. I do apologize for missing the last council meeting. I was at scout camp, so while you guys were at home in the air conditioning, I was outside in that brutal heat. Had a couple nice days, but towards the end of the week, it was bad. But did make it home in time to get in the parade. My poor son, I had to, he ran home, changed, and right into the parade for the, with the band. And then I relaxed a little bit, went over to the school and to the City Hall, and rode with the council members. But it was a great parade, always a good time. Fireworks were wonderful. Just looking forward to next year, and thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Council President. And with that, we're going to go to item number 18, which is known as adjournment. Anybody want to close out this meeting?
Second.
Motion by the Council President, second by Councilmember Schneegis. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Adjournment carries 5-0 in the affirmative. The time is now 8:39 p.m. We thank everybody for joining us, and we'll see you back here August 5th in a couple